Hello, and thank you for joining us again for the continuation on our videos on toxic masculinity, where today we're going to be talking about the third and final pillar of toxic masculinity, which is to be anti-feminine. In the pillar of being anti-feminine, it creates this binary where everything is either divided into a masculine trait or a feminine trait, and of course, it puts the masculine trait in a more positive position and pushes the feminine trait into a negative position. This is the same pillar that makes it so that anything that a society has deemed to be feminine can often be seen as less than its male counterpart. This is something that we see in young children's games when when one boy will say to another boy, "You throw like a girl." We also see this in the professional fields, where traditionally female dominated fields are unfortunately not seen with as much prestige or esteem as traditionally male dominated fields. Additionally, to be anti feminine also reinforces that idea that I talked about very early on into this series of videos, where there is a highly restrictive definition of what is considered masculine or feminine. So, if a person who believes in the ideals of toxic masculinity fails to demonstrate one of the pillars, such as, say, power and dominance, then not only would they be shamed for failing to achieve power and dominance, but they would also be shamed for displaying feminine tendencies or feminine traits in that pillar of anti femininity. So, although the pillar of anti feminine can essentially be summarized as masculine good, feminine bad, it has a way of working together with all the other pillars of toxic masculinity to create a very dangerous mixture where we have men who are already feeling isolated and helpless because to be tough often requires isolation, are also seeking to demonstrate their power by dominating those that they see as weaker than themselves, who then believe this idea that anything feminine is bad. And it's easy to see how this volatile mixture could prove to be a threat to anybody who is either feminine or feminine appearing, or even just displays feminine traits or qualities. So now that we've talked quite at length about how we define and identify toxic masculinity, please join me next week where we'll start talking a little bit about what we can do to address toxic masculinity, either when we identify it within ourselves or when we identify it with those people around us. Thank you all so much for joining me throughout this video series. I appreciate every last one of you, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye bye.